If Monte Carlo was a Pokemon, it would say Monte Carlo, Monte Carlo. That wasn't a joke, it was just an observation. Today we're going to go over the Monte Carlo and its perks, stats, and then see how it performs in PvE and PvP. Let's jump right into it. Arguably the most consistent weapon since its release, you know exactly what you're getting when you use the Monte Carlo. It has the base perks Fluted Barrel, High Caliber Rounds, and Composite Stock, with the exotic perk Markov Chain, making this weapon gain increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. Melee kills reload this weapon. Lucky for us, a super smart science nerd has calculated exactly how much more damage you get and for how long. You'll get 13% extra damage per stack for 4.5 seconds, with gun kills granting 1 stack. Your powered or normal melee kills will grant you 5 stacks, which is the max. And finally, we have the intrinsic perk, the Monte Carlo method. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee charge and has a chance to fully recharge your melee. This equals out to about 2% melee charge per hit on an enemy, and a massive 25% chance to reset your melee cooldown on kills, which is an insane way to become the ultimate punching machine, or knife throwing machine if you're a hunter. And I guess if you're a warlock, you can become a member of the
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells.
And if the idea of any of that sounds appealing to you, then this is the weapon for you. But let's go ahead and look at its performance in PvE. I get most of my usage from the Monte Carlo in PvE, not because it's a bad weapon in PvP, but just because it's that good in PvE. Like I talked about earlier, every class can make this gun useful. Titans have about 20 different builds they can use to make the most out of Monte Carlo, like a Thunderclap point brace build or shield throwing build. Then Warlocks can use this with Sun Bracers to keep their melee charged, or in an arc build for more shocky balls. And Hunters can do whatever Hunters do, I guess. Throw knife and get more. But I just don't know if Hunters can use any other gun besides a handcannon or a bow, to be honest. In all seriousness, you don't need a certain build or a certain exotic to use this gun, and that's the real beauty of it. It's actually one of the few free-to-play exotics, meaning that any and everyone can get their hands on it, which is actually why I decided to review it. I recently got my brothers into Destiny, and this was the first weapon one of them unlocked, and he has used this in literally every build you can think of. I even caught him using this in a Void Warlock build, throwing so many of those awful pulsing purple balls. Seeing him use it and do a decent job, while I can also use it and do a way better job because I am way cooler and better than him at everything, makes me really appreciate this weapon. It is such a simple weapon, it's really great for beginners and veterans alike. Man, look, I keep trying to talk about its actual production outside of being able to recharge your melee, but it's so hard because that's literally the whole point of this weapon, and it does a great job at it. So let's try to talk about bullets and stuff. The Monte Carlo doesn't have the most insane damage output, but if you can get it fully stacked up, you'll be extremely pleased. It's going to absolutely roll over in content with its 66% extra damage with full stacks. Plus, you're going to be killing so many enemies so fast, you're going to have constant charged melees to throw around. In Master and Grandmaster content, you're definitely going to feel this train slow down. It's not going to steamroll like it did previously, it's going to do what I would consider a fair and useful amount of damage. The best part about running Monte in content where red bars can be tough to kill is that you still get that 2% melee energy on every single bullet on an enemy, making this a way better option than just running Pugilist, which gives you that 10% energy on final blows and that's it. And then you have to realize in any PvE content, a slight lean into some melee mods will serve you well. At the very least, equip a heavy-handed mod for orbs or hands-on for extremely quick supers to keep you at the absolute top of your game. But let's talk about its PvP performance. In my humble, smooth brain opinion, the Monte Carlo isn't amazing in PvP, but it's also not horrible. ARs have always been in a funky spot in PvP, and until that range change comes very soon, they will continue to be the definition of mid. Well, technically not mid, because they're not even close to being the best choice for mid-range. The Monte Carlo has 24 meters of range, and if you play a lot of PvP, you know that isn't a lot. To give you a comparison, a base roll Autumn Wind can get 31 meters of range, and a God roll Immortal can get you up to 24 meters of range. No, Bungie, it's fine. Just wait a little bit longer with the range changes. I'm sure this isn't killing the PvP player base. Oh, brother. So yeah, the Monte Carlo struggles at a range, which is no surprise, but does it have any other issues? Yeah. Dude, I don't know if it's just me, but I swear this gun has bloomed like a Fortnite assault rifle. I cannot keep my bullets straight on this thing. Every time I'm in a 1v1, I'm getting a 20-piece combo right to the dome. Meanwhile, they're matrix dodging all my shots. I just don't get it. Okay, sorry, that's a lot of negativity. Let's talk some good things. Fast melee. Yeah, just like in PvE, this would be the only reason you would use it in PvP. Sure, I had fun getting a shield bash with pair grind every minute or so, but I just don't think it's worth the trade-off. Once you finally get that melee kill, your time to kill drops significantly from 0.8 to 0.6 because of the stacks, but then they expire in 4 seconds. Just pray to God that your enemy is within your C-Bear circle so you don't experience any drop-off. I'm really sorry if I'm being too negative, but one last positive I can think of is with the range change coming soon, this gun will actually be viable at a distance it should be. All around, the Monte Carlo is a treat for new players and a classic go-to for veterans. It gets a 4.75 fist out of 5 in PvE because who doesn't want more melees? And it gets a 3 out of 5 in PvP for being viable but not exactly anyone's go-to. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My mom said that she can pick you up or drop you off for a sleepover, but she's not doing both because she's got work in the morning. See ya!